afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, amid rising political tensions, House lawmakers issue a manifesto of support to President Bongbong Marcos. Inflation in the country quickens in November. For the fourth year in a row, Paris is named the world's most attractive city. And Pope Francis receives the first electric Popemobile. Thanks for joining us. Amid rising political tensions in the country, several House lawmakers, including Speaker Martin Romualdez, pledged their full support to President Bongbong Marcos. The congressman signed a manifesto of support that they presented to Marcos during a Christmas fellowship in Malacanang Wednesday night. Lawmakers reaffirmed their, quote, unwavering commitment to defend democratic institutions and national stability. They stressed any threat against Marcos is a threat against the Republic. This comes after Vice President Sara Duterte made an assassination threat last month against the first couple and Speaker Romualdez. VP Sara Duterte's office calling out the supposed injustice against their officials. In a statement this morning, the OVP also thanked their supporters and those who helped them during what it says is a crisis. They include Senators Bongo and Bato de la Rosa, who visited their controversial chief of staff, Zuleika Lopez, at the hospital. The OVP also thanked Senator Amy Marcos for ensuring that the VP and De La Rosa could visit Lopez. The chief of staff was hospitalized on November 23rd after experiencing bouts of vomiting and fainting spells amid a House inquiry into the office's use of confidential funds. The OVP statement comes a day after a new impeachment complaint was filed against the vice president. The House of Representatives vows to fulfill its mandate on impeachment proceedings. Zandro Ochona reports.
Another batch of people's organizations have filed a second impeachment complaint to oust Vice President Sara Duterte. 75 leaders from religious, the academe, medical workers, government workers, students, and the youth, among others, trooped to the Batasan Pambansa to file the complaint.
Sa araw na ito, inaakusahan namin si Vice President Sara Duterte ng pagtataksil sa tiwalang ito sa pamamagitan ng paglustay ng 612.5 million na confidential funds ng Office of the Vice President at Department of Education. Ginamit niya ito sa mga maling bagay sa maling paraan. Hindi lang yan. Nanguna rin si Vice President Duterte sa pag-cover up ng kanyang paglustay sa pamamagitan ng mga pekeng resibo, mga gawa-gawang acknowledgement receipts, mga maling dokumento na isinabmit niya sa Commission on Audit.
The second complaint cites only one ground for impeaching the Vice President, betrayal of public trust.
Mas madaling ma-digest yung mga ebidensya, mas mabilis siyang matalakay at kung umabot sa Senado, mas mabilis din madedesisyonan ng mga senador.
3 issues were also cited. First, mishandling of the 612.5 million pesos confidential funds of the OVP and DepEd, both under Duterte's watch. Second, the systematic cover-up through fabricated accomplishment reports, receipts, and documents submitted to COA, and deliberate obstruction of congressional investigation and oversight. The complainants are aware they may not get enough support, especially with President Bongbong Marcos telling lawmakers not to waste time impeaching the Vice President.
Sa mga miyembro ng mababang kapulungan na bumoto ayon sa kanilang konsyensya. Hindi ayon sa kanilang partido, hindi ayon sa kung sino pa man na personal na interest nila.
Despite this, the group draws strength from their young members who make up 1/3 of their number.
Kaya naman, sa local parlance ng kabataan, kami naniniwala, tumitindig na it's time to impeach the wicked witch of the South. Sige po.
House Secretary General Reginald Velasco assured Filipinos the House will fulfill its mandate on the impeachment proceedings.
The House remains steadfast in protecting public trust and ensuring that the democratic process is upheld. We call on all parties involved to respect the legal proceedings and allow the constitutionally prescribed process to take its course.
Zandro Ochona, BNC.
Hadi Roque should have been detained by the consulate in Abu Dhabi. This after Roque held an online press conference from the UAE more than 2 months after he went into hiding. Speaking to BNC's On Point, Prosecutor General Richard Fadullon said it is a well-known fact that Roque is wanted by the House of Representatives. At the very least, Fadullon said the embassy in the UAE should have informed authorities in the Philippines that Roque was there.
Cited in contempt by the House, and that would be basis for him to be apprehended. On that score, I would say there would still be basis to actually arrest him. At the very least, there would have been basis already. There would have been basis already to actually hold him and at least inform the Filipino authorities of the fact that he was in the embassy, and probably sought guidance on what could have been done or what would have been done if, for example, they had given the information that he was already outside of the country.
The Immigration Bureau says they are now backtracking Roque's travel route. On criticisms it failed to detect Roque's departure, the BI stresses it cannot cover all entry and exit points in the country.
Perfect world, kaya nating bantayan lahat ng islands in the Philippine archipelago. But we accept that we have limitations, and immigration personnel are only posted in formal channels, airports, seaports, as well as border crossing stations.
The Philippines seeking to boost economic ties with Canada and other members of the World Trade Organization. President Bongbong Marcos on Wednesday met with the WTO Director General in Malacanang. He said the country has big plans to enhance trade and commerce with its partners. The president also met with Canada's Minister of Export Promotion, International Trade and Economic Development. He underscored the importance of engaging allied nations to position the Philippines as a leading investment hub. A Canadian trade mission made up of more than 300 delegates are currently in the country for a 3-day visit aimed at exploring investment opportunities. Bitcoin feeling Donald Trump's newfound love for crypto. It has risen above 100,000 for the first time on expectations Trump 2.0 will create a friendly regulatory environment for cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin has more than doubled in value this year and is up about 45% in the 4 weeks since Trump's sweeping election victory. Trump had previously called Bitcoin a scam, but he has since embraced digital assets during his campaign, even promising to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Paris retains its reputation of being the world's most attractive city. For the 4th year in a row, the French capital took the top spot in the top 100 city destinations index by data analytics company Euromonitor International. Ranking second is Madrid, followed by Tokyo, Rome, and Milan. The index ranked cities around the world on criteria including tourism, sustainability, economic performance, and health and safety. We're taking a break. Up ahead, a look at Pope Francis's first ever electric Popemobile. Stay with Newsfeed at noon.
Good morning, everyone!
A platter of positivity, a cup of the hottest information, and a slice of what to expect for the whole day. With excitement, positivity, and fun. Join Paulo Del Rosario, Ann Asis Carrillo, and Monique Tuzon.
It's a beautiful day!
7 a.m. on BNC. the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, what does the investigation cover? We tackle the issues,
The president's immunity from suit is absolute.
we clarify matters, and we get on point.
Watch his press con. Sinabi niya na ayaw niya ng kudita.
What is questionable about the AR, sir? The Vice President keeps insisting walang active threat kung hindi ako mamamatay.
Tignan na lang natin, mahirap pang pangunahan eh.
Pinky Webb, on point.
This is The Scorecard
where you score the latest sports news.
and in-depth views. I'm Anton Rojas.
I'm Erica Christensen.
Get ready. Be prepared. Get to the latest stories, updates, and reports about what's happening in the world of sports. Hosted by Anton Rojas, Erica Christensen.
Where sports is our business and business is our sport.
The Scorecard, 9:30 p.m. on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Good morning, I'm Mai Rodriguez, and you're watching Basis Points, where we dive deep into the numbers and the stories that drive our economy and shape our world.
Stay ahead of the curve with the latest on financial dynamics.
Government officials are praising the recent move by the S&P Global. The Philippine stock market continues to plummet. The Philippine Economic Zone Authority is on track.
Join us as we delve into the evolving economic landscape. Mikey Oreta, Basis Points, 9:30 a.m. only on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
You're back on Newsfeed at noon. The abductors of kidnapped American vlogger Elliot Eastman may face murder charges after authorities received confirmation he is dead. Francis Falve joins us now for details. He's reporting from Camp Crame. Francis, what do you know so far?
Yes, Mai, the Philippine National Police Region 9 says they believe abducted American blogger Elliot Eastman is dead. Police Lieutenant Colonel Ramon Sergio Sawan, the acting spokesperson of PNP Region 9, told BNC that a suspect in Eastman's abduction confirmed initial information that the American passed away right after armed men took him from his home in Cebuco in October. A witness had already claimed Eastman died from a gunshot wound to the leg and abdomen, and that his body was thrown to the sea.
Sana po mismo ang nagsabi na nagpatotoo po doon sa sinabi nung unang witness na nakuha natin. Na-confirm niya nga po na nabaril si Elliot, tapos nung nasa laot na po sila, itinapon na pansin po nila na namatay na si Eastman, kaya itinapon po nila yung katawan niya doon sa dagat. It is according to them, sabi nila, there's seawaters na po ng Zamboanga City nila nangyari yon. Kaya po itong suspect na ito is nakapag-execute naman po siya ng extrajudicial confession, at saka naisubmit natin ito sa prosecutor's office kung saan natin na-file yung complaint.
My Colonel Sawan also says an official declaration will be made once the body is retrieved. But the family has already been informed of this development. Mai?
Francis, will there be additional charges against the suspects?
Why the suspects are only facing kidnapping cases at this time. But authorities say they will wait for the court to decide if they should add murder charges. Mai?
Thank you for that report, Francis Falve from Camp Crame. Inflation in the Philippines accelerates in November due to faster increases in the prices of food as well as transport costs. Sujin Kim with a story.
Inflation in the Philippines quickens for a second straight month. The Consumer Price Index coming in at 2.5% in November, faster than October's 2.3%. But it's still within the Philippine Central Bank's 2.2 to 3% forecast range. This gives the BSP enough room to cut interest rates further. The main drivers of the acceleration, faster increases in the prices of food and transport costs.
May mga areas tayo na binaha, in particular yung ating Cagayan Valley, Region 2. So naapektuhan yung mga presyo ay yung ating supply ng gulay. Ganun palagi pag may mga baha, may mga malalakas na bagyo, and that created a spike on the prices.
Among the food items that drove inflation faster in November are vegetables, fish, and meat.
Pababa na yung presyo ng kamatis noong Oktubre, biglang tumaas siya noong nakaraang buwan ng Nobyembre. Chicken din tumaas. So partly, of course, the holiday season, ang consumption din, plus the effect ng ating ASF sa mga ibang probinsya.
MAPA also noted transport inflation quickened partly due to the peso's depreciation. Meanwhile, rice inflation saw a significant decline, dropping from 9.6% in October to 5.1% in November.
Mas bumagal, but because of the weight nitong tatlong other commodity groups, no, yung meat, yung fish, saka yung vegetables, kaya nagkaroon ng pagtaas sa inflation noong buwan ng Nobyembre. Yung unit price per kilo dun sa regular, well-milled at special ay bumababa na rin. No? So ang aming expectation for December, for example, talagang pababa na yung inflation rate.
Still, Representative Joey Salceda says rice prices should be declining at a faster pace, considering the reduction of tariffs on imports and a faster decline in world prices. Meanwhile, National Economic and Development Authority Secretary Arsenio Balisacan is optimistic inflation will continue to remain within the government's target band of 2 to 4%. Sujin Kim, BNC.
Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health's insurance unit, is fatally shot in New York. The incident occurred outside the Hilton Hotel, where the company's annual investor conference was about to take place. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police have launched an investigation into the incident. The gunman remains at large. United Health is the largest U.S. health insurer and provides benefits to tens of millions of Americans.
We have increased the reward in this case to $10,000. I want to be clear. At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack. Millions of people will be enjoying the tree lighting tonight, among other holiday events, and the NYPD will be out there with them, keeping them safe.
On to the political crisis in South Korea as President Yoon Suk-yeol now faces impeachment. Lawmakers have formally introduced a motion to impeach Yoon over his botched attempt to impose martial law. Yoon's declaration of martial law late Tuesday would have banned political activity and censored the media. A vote on the motion is expected within 24 to 72 hours. Another deepening political crisis, this time in France, as opposition lawmakers succeed in bringing down the government. Far-right and left-wing lawmakers joined forces to back a no-confidence motion against Prime Minister Michel Barnier, who's now expected to hand his resignation to President Emmanuel Macron. No French government had lost a confidence vote since 1962. With the political chaos unfolding, France now risks ending the year without a stable government or a 2025 budget. Pope Francis goes full electric. The Pope will now ride on an EV, courtesy of Mercedes-Benz. The company says the new Popemobile is tailored specifically to meet the Pope's needs.
The very first Popemobile was 1930 for Pope Pius XI. And today we have a world premiere. It is the very first all-electric Popemobile for Pope Francis. So I think it ushers in a new era of Popemobiles. We have put hundreds of hours of passion and craftsmanship into this vehicle. It's been tailor-made for the Holy Father, with the chair as a centerpiece that can swivel in both directions so he can address the people around him. But down to small details, like at the back of it, you see you have two little things sticking out, and that's where the Swiss Guard can stand.
Up next, the nation's girl group Bini winning big at the 37th Awit Awards. This and other stories when Newsfeed at noon returns. Keep it here on BNC.
Magandang gabi, ako po si Pinky Webb.
At ako naman si Corina Sanchez Rojas. Simulan na natin ang agenda. Posibleng paglabag sa international humanitarian law ng dating Pangulong Duterte, sinisilip na ng DOJ. Super Typhoon Pepito nag-iwan ng matinding pinsala sa ilang mga lalawigan. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin muling bumisita sa Pilipinas. Sa bawat issue, may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
We celebrate the way our home regions have developed distinct dishes and flavors. We have found unique methods of using spices and flavorings. Food is most easily the most expressive cultural expressions. Each tradition tells a story of how a people have related to the land, have developed a culture of tastes and flavors. Each and every one of them a delicious expression of Dayaw, our knowledge, our pride.
This is The Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Rojas.
Get ready, be prepared, get to the latest stories, updates, and reports about what's happening in the world of sports. Hosted by Anton Rojas.
The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here.
The Scorecard on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
From Manila to the globe, this is World Newsfeed, bringing you the biggest stories shaping our time. I'm Rain Musni. Let's dive into the headlines making a global impact.
You're still watching Newsfeed at noon. The nation's girl group Beanie proving they're the reigning queens of P-pop. Beanie was a big winner at the 37th Awit Awards held at the Music Museum in San Juan. They won the Favorite Group Artist Award, Favorite Music Video of the Year for Carrera, Favorite Record and Song of the Year for Pantropico. Also winning big last night, Lola Amor, which bagged Record of the Year, Best Pop Recording, and Song of the Year for their smash single Raining in Manila. Yes. Other notable winners include solo artist Unique Salonga for Album of the Year with Daisy, and pop and rock royalties Sara Geronimo and Bamboo for Favorite Collaboration. Rolling Stone has dropped its list of best albums of 2024, and taking the spot is the hyperpop album Brat of Charlie XCX. Brat brought a sweeping trend online and became a party anthem worldwide. Second in the best album list is Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter, followed by MJ Lenderman's Manning Fireworks and Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet. And before we go, rare items from pop culture icons hitting the auction block this week. Among those up for grabs, jewelry from Elvis Presley, props from classic films like The Wizard of Oz, and even relics from the RMS Titanic. It will also include items from other Hollywood icons such as Joan Crawford, Bob Marley, and Janet Jackson. The auction will be held online on December 7.
We have so many highlights in this sale, from iconic golden era Wizard of Oz to more modern day films, Thelma and Louise, to other icons, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley. But what's really unique about this sale is having the collection of Colonel Tom Parker directly from his estate, which is kind of uncanny.
And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Good afternoon.